Hello, good evening. It's a lovely evening, the 4th of November 2022. It's Friday again, like we always do. Ubuntu channel. We come live every Friday, bring to you Ubuntu Sports, and the Ubuntu analysts are ready to analyze everything that has been happening in the Zambian football fraternity, everything that has been making news. The analysts, the Ubuntu analysts are ready just to give it up to us, to break it down for us. Joined with me this evening, there's Lameck, there's Lawrence, there's Abia, there's Joseph in the background. Everyone is set. Gents, good evening. Let me start with you, Lameck. It's a wonderful evening.
Yeah, wonderful evening to you, Reuben, Lawrence, and Mr. Abia and Joseph in the background. It's a Friday. We are here to talk football once again, something we all passionate about, and I'm really eager and looking forward to today's show.
Thanks. Good evening, Lawrence. How are you this evening?
Good evening, Reuben, and it's always interesting to be here. I'm very much fine, and I'm happy to be joined by the other guys, with Lameck, Abia, and so Joseph, who is in the background. He'll be on the screens in no time. It's a lovely Friday, and hopefully we have a great show together with viewers out there.
Thanks, Lawrence. Mr. Abia, good evening. Machoma bwanji kumawako.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Reuben. Good evening, Lameck and Lawrence. It's a pleasure to join with you guys to be here live at Ubuntu Channel of Sports on Friday, 4th of October. This November, not October.
Yeah.
Welcome to Sports, our viewers. Be there with us. We have a lot to discuss today. I think you enjoy it. And as for Eastern, it's quite good. And I believe some of the Easterners will be joining you in the future, as I still in the process of negotiation with some analyst who knows the football fraternity in Zambia, where Zambia Chipolopolo began and died in 1993. They know the history, but they just find the opportunity to come to Ubuntu and join Ubuntu family. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mr. Abia. We can't wait for that. So to our viewers, make sure you share this broadcast, tag as many people as possible. And also you can participate by commenting on this show. Just put in your views in the comment section or in the live chat if you're watching us via YouTube, and we'll be able to get all your comments and your views on this show. Gents, we've got a long night, a lot of things to discuss, but let's start with the national team. The acting coach or the assistant coach, I don't know what name to use, but there is a squad that has been assembled for the Israel assignment. And the big headline that is making rounds is that Sunzu is back in the squad. Lameck, let me start with you.
Yeah, interesting to see the team by interim head coach. For me, I would call him an interim head coach because he's been in charge when Asanovic was not around, and when Asanovic left, the team has been left in charge of him. So he's the interim head coach right now who will lead the team. As we also go to play Israel, he'll be the one in charge of the team. So looking at Sunzu being recalled, I think it was about time that Sunzu was called back to the team. He was earlier given a call-up, but he failed to make it some time back. But for this one, I'm really looking forward to Sunzu. Should he come into the team to bring more stability into the team, to bring more maturity into the team? Because what we have lacked for a lot of the matches is the maturity and the experience. But with Sunzu coming, he's a leader among men. I'm really sure he'll come and fill that gap that has been in the team. Disappointing enough, as I was looking at the team, I was really eager to see Enoch Mwepu on the team, but I still haven't moved on. But yeah, it's interesting enough. I look forward to see. We have players such as Benson Sakala who are coming back into the team. We wait and see as we approach the friendly dates.
Lawrence, Stone has named this squad for the Holy Land, and we've been, of course, everyone's talking about Sunzu being back in the squad. Let me ask you in this manner. Now there is no Enoch Mapepa in the squad. Do you think the captaincy should go to Stofil and Sunzu?
Well. That's an interesting one, and didn't anticipate that one. I think for me, the talk of captaincy and who should be the captain should not be so much given the spotlight and highlight in this team, because I feel we should not make it look like Stofila Sunzu is coming to walk right back into the team. I think this is a chance for him to work his way back into the team, because let's be realistic here. He's been missing from the squad for quite some time. I think for quite a number of years now. We've not seen him play for the national team. It's a good thing that he's back. Don't take that away from the situation. It's a good thing that he's back, because it's interesting how from the 2012 Africa Cup of Nations final we played, if you look at the Zambia and Cote d'Ivoire teams, you will see at least a trace of some players who were in that team from Cote d'Ivoire, and in Zambia everybody was completely gone. I don't know, the succession has been kind of poor on our side, and this is a chance that we have given ourselves to redeem ourselves. Even if Stofila will not make it the first choice center back or something like that, I'm okay with him being in the team, because I think somehow in the background he should be able to mentor and pass on the touch. Now this is the opportunity that we have, that at least someone from that squad is able to pass on the touch to the younger team that we have right now. So talking about captaincy going to Stofila Sunzu, I think should not be here or there. Let's give him chance to work his way into the team and see if he will be actually proven as possible. Because let's face it, a lot of our fans have not seen Stofila play for the national team for a very long time, and it's not even easy to predict how he will gel with the current crop of players we have. So pinning him with the captaincy, yet I think probably it's the coach has to make the decision, of course, and whatever decision he makes, for me, I think it will be based on what he has seen in the team and all that. In the meantime, I think all the best to Stofila, and I'm glad that he's back in the team.
Thanks very much, Lawrence. Mr. Abia, I want to get your thoughts over the same topic. Hi, Mr. Abia, can you hear us?
Yes, thank you so much. It's really a good news to know that Stofila Sunzu is back. And I think the coming back of Stofila Sunzu is really a awesome message to add experience in the backline, and also in the expense of midfield, because that guy played as a midfield before he was graduated into defense by the one and only winning AFCON coach, Hevrena, that made him as a defender. And I think by one time, he acted as a captain in the national team. He has that experience. So I would have been more exciting if Kalaba was called back together with Kabaso Chongo. These guys, they really mean well for the Zambia Chipolopolo. But the news of Stofila Sunzu is a welcome move, because we can see tomorrow Kalaba being back. And for the captains, I think it's not a matter of question who can read the Chipolopolo as a captain. Is qualified Stofila Sunzu. The guy, he has what it takes to be a captain, despite not being in a team for a long time, because this is due to the choices of the previous coaches who have no interest in Stofila Sunzu. But Stofila Sunzu has the leadership. During his time, when he was still active, he was showing this guy that if someone loses the ball, he was able to talk with that guy smartly, without violence, without using that language that we know, you and I, that is abusive language. That guy is really humble. And if he can be given that armband, I think everyone in the team will have that courage to emulate, to follow his mentality of football and kindness in the pitch. I think it's a good really thing if Stofila Sunzu can be given an armband to be a captain, to replace our lovely boy Enoch Computer Chirofamwepu. I called them Chirofamwepu because of something else. So this is really exciting. But this is my opinion. Everyone has their opinion according to the understanding that particular person may have. But for me, a good choice, Stofila Sunzu can be a good captain for Zambia Chipolopolo.
Thanks, Mr. Abia. Lameck, I want a quick reaction from you. Mr. Abia say we need to call back Kabaso Chongo and Renford Kalaba back into the team. Do you think these people are going to add value if they are to be called back? And also a quick one, Mavika is missing in the team. I want to get your comment over that.
Yeah, I'll start with Mavika. For Mavika, his paperwork has not yet been approved, so we're still waiting on the ministries to conclude on his case. They said each case was being dealt. They took each case one by one. They dealt with Frankie, and then they need to sit down again and then also review Mavika's case. I feel Mavika would be a very good addition to the team. It's disappointing that there's been such a delay in him being issued with the relevant documents to feature for Chipolopolo, and going to issues to do with Renford Kalaba and Kabaso Chongo. I feel for Renford, for me personally, he doesn't pass my criteria just yet. He hasn't been playing for the longest of times. Maybe he was out of favor with the previous coach. The new coach who has come in as caretaker coach, Coach Mihayo, has been giving him some game time, and he's still captain of the club. So every time he comes from the bench, he would be given the armband at the club, showing that respect that the club has for him. Yeah, and he's also scored goals, but that does not earn him that right to just freely move into the team, the national team. You need to work for the call-up, and Kalaba hasn't seen much game time. I feel there are other players who've done a much better job during the last 2-3 months in their clubs. Same as Kabaso Chongo, who has been suspended by CAF and isn't featuring for TP Mazembe right now in the CAF in the CAF Confederation Cup. The Champions League did not feature, so I feel these two players, with time, maybe by the time we start playing our qualifiers in June, I hope they may have gotten more minutes at their club, proven their weight at their clubs, so that they can call up their players. We can't throw them away. They are players that we can always call back. But for this one, I think I stand with the coach. Let the coach do the work. Let the players earn the right to be called to the national team. Yes, Lawrence.
I'm sorry to barge in on your presentation, but I'm still stuck with the issue of Mavika. I was, I don't know the slow pace at least at which we are handling this issue, because personally, I have seen how our colleagues, let's say the Ghanaians, are busy poaching players who they want to feature at the World Cup this year, this very month. And they have been doing that over the last few months, poaching players who they want to feature. And if our colleagues there are able to finalize issues in such short time, why are we failing to just deal with? Because if this guy is going to help us in our national team, going to improve our prospects of achieving more as a country, why are we handling this issue at a snail pace and dealing with it as if it's just a non-entity we are dealing with coming into the country? I think there's need for more care and more seriousness on this issue. That's how I look at it.
For you, I agree. I agree with you when you give examples of countries such as Ghana and other countries that are poaching players currently in Europe. But another issue is, there are two institutions. First, have done their part in presenting relevant documents, proving that Mavika is worthy to don the Chipolopolo shirt. So it's up to the ministry now to sit down, have discussions, and then approve or disapprove. So that issue mainly may not be dealt by footballing individuals who understand the football language or how important players may be. That may be another case affecting the process. Another case may be they have to critically look at Mavika, what he's doing, how much contribution he would bring to the team, and all of that. So it's really it's a process that I feel cannot be rushed, but we can just add some urgency to it, because I feel Mavika has been getting more game time at his club. He's proven his worth. He's played a lot of games this season. With time, I hope with time, first continue with the reminders to the ministry, and with time we will succeed. But it's something that basically we just have to wait and just hope for the best.
Thanks, gents. We need to move on. Like I said, we've got a lot on our we've got a lot to discuss on tonight. Joseph, good evening. Welcome to the show. Okay, it seems Joseph still has a challenge there. Gents, let's look at the vacancy at the national team. Yes, we're happy the interim coach, according to Lameck, interim coach, the assistant coach, we has assembled a squad for the friendly. But the big thing is that there's still a vacancy, and far as advertised, we heard the SG was saying about 30 people have applied for this vacant position. Lawrence, let me start with you on this one. Do we need a foreign or a local coach at this moment? Looking at the past 10 years, we've had a mix of foreign and local coaches, but it has not worked for this nation.
I think first and foremost, I want to categorically state that we have a problem. I think it's not only a problem at FAS, but it's a general problem we have as Zambians. We tend to give opportunities to foreigners, the kind of opportunities we cannot give to ourselves. And that is where I actually mostly differ with how we think and reason. We always think and feel foreigners are better than us. And to me, that's a sign of inferiority complex. Look at the Chipolopolo coaching scenario here. We've had several coaches, a kind of a mixture, local coaches and foreign coaches. Number one, we find I see that some of the best performing coaches in the last 10 years are actually local, and some of the worst performing are actually foreigners. And when you look at the conditions of service we give to our locals and to our foreigners, you see that all the times we seem to up our games when it comes to conditions of service for the foreigners, and we treat ourselves as little and all that. Let's face it, to some extent, if we had given coaches like Wedson Nyirenda enough time, ample time, and given him the chance to prove, because in the time that he was with us, we were able to beat even the big guns, but all that has gone with him. I don't know how, I don't know what happened, I don't know what's happening, but all that has gone with him. And we've brought in a mixture of foreign coaches here who have failed to beat the same teams. I mean, we could go to Algeria and beat Algeria right in their backyards. Those are the days. Where are those days gone? Gone with Wedson Nyirenda. So for me, I think it's high time we took a step back. If we had given ourselves a chance not to rush results and try to build something out of what we have, I think we could have been far by now. Remember how Egypt missed the Africa Cup of Nations for quite a number of years because they gave themselves a chance and a project which they wanted to build, and gave themselves a number of years to say, this project, we are going to do it in this number of years. Egypt went missing for 2 or 3 Africa Cup of Nations, if I'm not mistaken, because they took up a young team, kept on playing qualifiers and friendlies and the like with it, not making it, and other, but they stuck with the same team. Where are they now? They are way better than us. But what we're trying to do right now to rush results. Right now, even if we get a coach, doesn't matter whether local or foreign, what we're trying to do right now is somehow qualify for the next big tournament. And that is where we are getting it wrong. I know we are under pressure right now because we have not delivered for quite a long time. That is what is giving us the pressure. If we had given ourselves a certain kind of a project, and Faz comes out and says, well, countrymen and women, we have gone down right now, bear with us for the next so number of years. We want to build something with this young team, with this team that we have. We are going to stick with it, support it, and ensure that it has what it deserves, and see where it will take us for the next 4 years. I think that is how we handle such kinds of things. So for me right now, the issue of whether it's local coach or foreign coach does not come to par right now, because at the end of the day, we still try to force results and force outcomes, force qualifications, force this and that. And if that doesn't happen in the next 1 year or 2 years, that person is laid off. Or if not, we have a coach, payments become a problem, condition of service, contradictions, and whatever. Next thing, the coach goes, and this is what we've been seeing. So it's just very difficult to even see the long-term project of the current football association, because we have not stuck one thing at a time. Right now, we expect a new coach, change the whole style. We are starting afresh, I should say, starting all from zero again. And after 1 year or 2 years, another coach comes in, start from zero. We have not made any progress. This is just this is like a project, an abandoned project, I should say. That's what I can say.
But when you talk about a coach, Wedson Nyirenda, as you gave in your examples, Wedson left at a time when he was offered an opportunity to go to further his education in Spain. He left and took up a job at the South African club. That's Wedson. We have coaches such as Beston. Beston has, I feel, for the national team, he hasn't been the luckiest. We have coaches, the George Rwanda Minas. We have the Hona Janzas. Yes, these coaches may be utilized, but at this particular time, for me, I feel local wouldn't be the best solution right now. We would.
Let me just before you finish your thought on when you talked about Wada Wada, but let's put it on record. The major thing that made Wada Wada to leave was non-payment.
Money.
It was offered to go to school, but how can you send someone whom you're not paying to school? Lameck, that really wasn't unfair. I'm sure that's why he went to coach a team in South Africa. I think it was the issue of payments with Wada Wada. That's what made
Money,
him to leave.
money.
You can continue with the thought. You said for you don't support the local ones, and
Yeah,
it's the same way that Vic
it's
is applying for this same job, because Wana Jans has applied. I think maybe the new name is Fatty.
I think coaches like Muhammad Fati should be vying for jobs such as the Zesco United job. Not yeah, it's good. It's good to be ambitious. It's good. Look, no, take nothing away from what I said. It's good to be ambitious, but I feel Muhammad Fati got Napsa Stars relegated. I feel that puts a dent on his CV. Because in as much as he was fired before the initial relegation, but he may have qualified them to CAF Confederation Cup football, but he got them relegated in the same season. So I feel that is a dent on his CV. We have coaches such as Hona Janzaya. He was the last man to take us to AFCON, but again, he hasn't been the luckiest with results. I remember some of the results did not come really good under him. For Wedson, when we drew against, is it Ethiopia? Was it at Woodland Stadium? People were calling for his head when he was just about 3-4 matches in. So, appointment of coaches at the national team, again, really falls back on the fans. The fans are not so patient. Today we may talk about appointing a local coach, but trust me, a local coach will need a lot of time to sit and organize his team. He will need a lot of education again to compete with the elites, the bigger boys.
Come on. Lameck, in all honesty, where have Venamicho taken us? Honestly? How far have we gone with Venamicho? Eh?
No, but just because you failed.
Every time
just because you failed.
We don't get the best because of the salary that we offer in Zambia. Even if you go out there to get a foreign coach, we'll get the standards of Hona Janza. The only thing that changes is the nationality. They are from Europe or they are from wherever. That's all that changes because the salary that we offer in Zambia is not competitive. Let's just face it. So we go for a foreign coach. We'll go and bring the levels of the Hona Janza, the same ones. Just because they are from maybe Croatia, Asanovic, just because they are from Croatia and all that, and that is all that changes. No, anatambako Ndanchi, Modric, Ate Abora, vis-a-vis. That is the only difference that is there. Otherwise,
and they end up telling us we're not a footballing nation.
Exactly.
Let's hear from
No. But okay. Coaches such as look, what among the coaches that Faz has appointed, the Faz under Kamanga has appointed, I think Sven was for me, Sven was the best among all the coaches appointed by Kamanga and his executive. Look, picking look where he talked about a footballing nation and all of that. Look, if you look at his statements, one of his statements was that during preparations, these boys are on fire. They're unbelievable while preparing, but when it comes to match day, the performance was really bad. You know, people never picked that comment, but we have so much focus on Zambia is not a footballing nation. That is a comment that we focused on. But the other thing that Sven had talked about, in the first few matches that Sven was in charge, the system was seen how he wanted his team to play. So for fans, it's clear what they need. Let them show us what they need. If it doesn't work out this time around, 2024 will be here, and the councillors who have that mandate to push them out of office and get new leaders at FAS. If it doesn't work out, because it in as much as they are succeeding on the women's game, the men's game is also an area of need. But again, patience is a virtue. Look at Italy. Italy have failed to qualify for the World Cup again. They haven't talked about the FA boss. They have talked about the team, the players. They've talked about the coach. For us, any failure, we point at the boss, the first boss. That is another problem.
Actually,
You can't work in. It's impossible to succeed if you work in an environment that is toxic, because almost everyone has. FAS has been fighting battles since the day they entered office. They've been running up and down since the day they entered office. So it has been very difficult for them. Even the wins at the women's in women's football, some have called them flukes. You understand? So it is something that until we clean up our environment in our football, it would be difficult for the national team to excel. But the other positive is that we have more players playing in high competitive leagues. So that gives us an advantage over when it comes to competitiveness. What we need is just a coach like Sven. For me, I would give a reference a coach like Sven. You know, you play from the back, you attack with the wings, or you attack with the midfield, and progress. For me, that is my idea of Zambian football.
Let me come in. Let me come in.
Yes, Abia, I've been looking for you.
Yeah, the other thing is this. You can't progress in football if you are making decisions that are wrong every time. You see that? The system is poor. I agree with Steven says Zambia is not a footballing nation. It doesn't mean that Zambia there's no football. No, they are talking about system. Let me take you to this scenario. We have under 20, which was doing better under Beston Chambeshi. You see that, right? After doing better that under 20, what did they first do? They offered the Chipolopolo coach for Beston Chambeshi to move from under 20 direct to national team. Was that a better decision? The answer is no.
For me.
No. Beston was called in as an interim coach when the team had no coach.
I'm coming. Let me give you an example. Understand this. Under 20, under 23 is the next step. Thereafter, national team is the next step. This is a system that we are supposed to use. Not graduating players, graduating a coach direct from under 20, direct to national team. No, this is not the way you're supposed to do. Who does that? We need someone who understands the football better, who understands the players better. Look about the decision that Hevna did. Stopira Sunzu was playing as a midfield. But after coming in, he discovered that Stopira Sunzu can do better in the defense. You see that? Some of other players, you need to discover yourself as the coach. That mentality is what we need in Zambia.
A quick question, Mr. Abia. Who was in charge of the team at the under 23 AFCON? Who was in charge of the team?
I'm analyzing that FAS is using, the system is using. That the system that they are using is poor. That's what makes the coaches to describe Zambia's football fraternity as not a footballing. So after the Steven left, we were supposed to show Steven that Zambia is a footballing nation by choosing a coach who understands players, who understands Zambian football, and progress. But look at the choice that they made after Steven Van der Broek did. They failed to qualify the Zambian national team to the Africa Cup. We failed to qualify to the World Cup. After the first president himself promises us that Zambia, he will make Zambia to qualify to the World Cup. Because that was the only thing left for Zambia to qualify for FIFA World Cup. We have lifted the trophy for Africa Cup, but we needed a team to go to World Cup. We failed that because of the poor system that FAS is using, appointing coach like as if you are appointing a farmer to grow.
Okay, Mr. Abia.
You can't
for me, one thing
coaches worker in a garden compound. No, You need to understand football. Then coming to the issue of Wada Wada. Wada Wada was the very best coach ever, local players I have seen for local coaches. Lawrence have talked about beating Algeria home and away. You see, we beat them 3-1, we beat them 1-0 away. You see that? This was a coach of a tactical game. If you are seeing that the opponent are strong, you players do this. Giving system to the players, that's what we need. And if the system is adapting to the
All right, seems Abia has a challenge there. Lameck, it seems people here are favoring the local coaches. Trick for you, but there's one question from the comment section from Kingsley David. Is saying, what if Sunzu declines the call-up? What will happen?
Yeah, if Sunzu declines the call-up, it may be due to a lot of factors. Maybe the COVID-19 pandemic. It may be one of the factors. So FAS should be in a position that they are ready. They should have somebody in place that is ready to replace Sunzu when he declines the call-up. And I believe FAS is ready if, in case of any eventualities, any player gets an injury or anything. There's always there are players that are already lined up and are ready to honor collapse when others decline or are unavailable.
All right, thanks. I wanted us to talk about the women's national team, but let's look at the Green Buffaloes, because that's the most important thing right now. They'll be in action tomorrow in the CAF Women's Champions League. Elite. Let's start from the Mapepa story that was going around this week. So Elite ladies are saying that they offered Mapepa to Green Buffaloes for a loan deal, because they saw that Green Buffaloes they don't have a natural left back, and they offered Mapepa so that he can be playing for them in the Champions League, and then in the Super League he should be playing for Elite, like having two clubs at the same time. Lameck, does that allow in football? Is that allowed in football?
Yeah, it is allowed. Not each competition has its own rules, so that's one thing that people need to understand. Each competition has its own rules, and then for Mapepa playing for Buffaloes, it was a loan that would just allow her to play for Green Buffaloes during is it the COSAFA and also the CAF Women's Champions League? These two, because Green Buffaloes don't have a natural left-footed player, not necessarily a left back, but a left-footed player. Like the whole squad, the majority of
everyone,
their first team players, not everyone, but their first team players are right-footed. So it is allowed. It's possible. Mapepa would have had the deal gone through. Mapepa would have been featuring for Elite Ladies in the Super League, in the Women's Super League, and when it was time for CAF Champions League, she would have been Green Buffaloes, away with Green Buffaloes during that time.
Thanks, Lawrence. And we heard that actually Green Buffaloes rejected the offer. And do you think it's what affected them in the last match when they lost 2-1 to Asfa of Morocco?
No, they were just outdone. They made mistakes. Asfa scored through 2 penalties. Those were mistakes at the back. I think and few those mistakes would have been avoided by Buffaloes had they been tactically sound. They sat back for the larger part of the match and they were punished. But going into the match against Simba, I think they've learned their lessons. They need to go out, attack.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for that, Lameck. Lawrence, are you still there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you followed all that story, Lawrence, where a player was supposed to be featuring uh, for two clubs in different competition. I wanted to hear your thoughts as well.
First and foremost, it was interesting that the need for another team was spotted by Elite. I don't know. I don't know how the Elite were paying attention to the needs of Green Buffaloes and even offered to help them. Maybe they are so kind and so good
The
countrymen
patriotic.
and women from out there are very patriotic and want the country to perform to perform better. But I think the deterring factor there was the loan fee proposed. To me, it looks like Elite saw a business opportunity, and we are trying to get a 10,000 kwacha out of Green Buffaloes, and Green Buffaloes also could not favor that somehow. All the same, we are where we are because of because everything happened in a way that we did not anticipate and all that. So we are here, I should say. Kudos to to Elite though for being so kind and good and trying to help out.
Uh, what do you think about Green Eagles, about Green Buffaloes, because they rejected the offer? I don't know if, yeah, some of it maybe because of the monies, but according to Elite saying they didn't even get any response until Elite followed up the issue. Hey guys, we offered you this loan deal, you've not responded, and they only got a
Yeah,
verbal response. Hmm?
that's what I'm saying. It's very kind of them that they were so concerned about another team, and they were even offering solutions to them and even following up on the solutions and all that. But the normal principle is a team knows what they want. I think you not hear of Arsenal calling Chelsea to say, "Ah, we think you need the left back. We can give you one." I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know how that one was going to pan out and all that. But somehow, probably Green Buffaloes thought they were comfortable and they were okay. Maybe that's what they thought, and they have gone into this. And also, it's not as if this story is coming up like they're out of the competition or anything. They still have a very good chance tomorrow to make it into the next stage. That's if they force a draw or a win or beat Simba, and we can be there.
We can be there. So we wish Green Buffaloes all the best tomorrow as they take on Simba Ladies uh, in the deciding match. The one who wins uh, goes through to the next round of the tournament. And what Green Buffaloes need is just a draw, a win. We hope they can just beat them so they can build up their confidence in the tournament. And we are going to beam the game live just here on Ubuntu channel. So be glued to Ubuntu channel. We're going to beam the game just here live. Lawrence, let's look at uh, the Zambian Super League. It's going to the round 11, and interesting enough, we've got a double header at Nkoloma Stadium, starting with the Pensioners Napsa Stars taking on the Bankers in Zanaco. Uh, I want to hear from you how this game might pan out, because we've seen a strange scenario, Lawrence. The consultant, Amunike, is the one actually who is standing up on the touchline giving instruction to the players. I want a quick comment on your prediction on NAPSA versus Zanaco.
Well, Amunike, from what we are hearing in the grapevine, is that he is actually the coach in waiting somehow, and probably might take over the ranks as soon as January, which is just after next month. So
Yeah.
it's not surprising that Amunike is seemingly taking the lead role in doing everything for when it comes to coaching this team. My prediction would be, I feel both teams are coming into this one feeling like they can get something out of it, and hopefully speaking, probably I feel Zanaco should have the edge of this one, or probably a draw. I don't see a very heavy scoring game between the two sides.
Thanks, Abia. first game tomorrow, it's Napsa Stars versus Zanaco. I want your quick reaction and also your prediction for this game.
Yeah, they are both a really good team. Napsa is doing good, and Tanako they're also doing better. I think the glass will suffer tomorrow. First prediction, the first prediction I can give is that the 90 minutes will tell. But I can see, Napsa Stars, if they are playing at their home soil, it's not a team to underrate. They can even surprise you. So I can see a win for Napsa or a draw, something like that. But the big decision is that the big prediction is that the 90 minutes will tell because the glass will suffer tomorrow.
Indeed, and after that, we'll have Red Arrows taking on Forest Rangers. Red Arrows, they look quite strong as the defending champions, with Rangers, which look as if they're struggling a bit this season. But it's going to be a game, the second game at Nkoloma Stadium, Mr. Abia.
Red Arrows is really a good team. They are playing better, though they failed to beat Nkana last week. The weak part of Red Arrows is they're lacking scoring style. Scoring style is lacking in them. That's what almost costing them the team. So if they can improve forward, pushing the strikers, midfielders, working together, I think they can even defend the trophy. But the way I'm seeing today, they win, tomorrow they draw, they lost. I think this will not help the team. But for tomorrow's game, I think they will stand firm and get even 3 points. I think they can get 3 points tomorrow.
Thanks. Lawrence, Musa is at home versus Prison Leopards. I'm sure this is again going to be a cracker tomorrow. We want to see where this game, how this game is going to end. Lawrence, your prediction for this game? How do you feel?
A confident 2-1 to Musa. This I have no doubt. 2-1, and you can record this one. I'll give it to you. 2-1 is the final score.
To Musa.
To Musa, of course.
Great. Let me take it to Abia. Abia, you've heard it from the one of the strong supporter for Musa is saying Musa is going to carry the day tomorrow. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the language that you have used to say the strong supporter, not the strong soccer fan. Yeah. So I think they have the courage for FC Musa, but they failed to beat Chambishi last week. It's one thing they have is defensive error. I don't know, but FC Musa, they are playing a good game when they are playing at their home soil. So I think the team that is going to play FC Musa tomorrow, like Prison Leopard, is also a strong team that has also troubled big team. So I think tomorrow the grass will suffer again. There will be a lot of work at FC Musa ground. I think if FC Musa can win, they will not win it easily tomorrow. If they can lose, yes, they can lose because the team that they are playing with is a better side. But I feel a draw there can be a final result. But you wait and see after 90 minutes.
Indeed, do wait and see after 90 minutes. Let's look at the one of the games which I feel is interesting as well. Because I don't want to go through all the games. Is the Zesco versus Butekon. Butekon is struggling. They have not yet won any game this season, and they are facing Zanaco, Zesco United team that is looking for a coach. How do you say it, Mr. Abia?
Yeah, I think on paper I can say this team are weaker, both sides. We can't predict to say Zesco can carry the day. We can't predict that Bitcoin they can salvage a point. But for Bitcoin, it's really pretty. I have pity for them because they're trying better. They get 1 point last Saturday, last weekend. I think playing with FC Zanaco, they can even get a point because Zanaco, Zesco, it's not a team that you can predict to say they can get these results because I don't know whether it's underrating the system that they have, underrating team, I don't know, but Zesco, they are not stable. So I think 90 minutes will also tell tomorrow because if you underrate Beauticon, they may surprise you. So I think I can't even predict for this game. The 90 minutes will tell.
Thank you very much. I want your concluding remarks, Mr. Abia, and also Lawrence, but let me start with you, Mr. Abia. Your concluding remarks, and which game are you going to be particularly watching tomorrow?
I would have loved to watch Nkana versus Nkwazi because we are really struggling as Nkana because last weekend I gave them credit because drawing with Red Arrows was not easy game. So I think if we can continue working hard, we can even walk out in the red zone because we are deep inside red zone. So I think we need to pull up our socks and make sure that each and every player is energetic to face Nkwazi tomorrow because it's not a weak side. Nkwazi is always a better team. If you underrate them, they can also even surprise you by getting 3 points Wasanga Valetea. So I think in Kalampa, we need to up our game. So I would love to watch Nkana versus Nkwazi. If I have the opportunity to do that tomorrow or Sunday, I can even watch them. My concluding remarks is that I'm urging fans, please do the needful. Give us a coach that will understand the football of Zambian because we can't sit down and watch team failing to qualify to AFCON, the tournament that we have been qualifying for some years and not failing after losing the mighty Chipolopolo or mighty KK11 in 1993. We have never failed to qualify to AFCON until 2013 or 2015. We have never failed to do that. But starting from 2017, we have failed, 2019, we have failed, 2021, we have failed. And this coming 2020, failing again, it will be a big disappointment for us as a soccer fans. So we are urging you first to do the needful, change the style, the system that we are using, upgrading coaches like no man's business. Let them upgrade themselves by having those class certificate of coaching. I think that will really help us in Zambia. Make a good decisions. Don't interfere in terms of making decisions. I like the Great Kalu. Great Kalu was even, that man was equal to the tax. Because after failing to take us in the semi-final in 2010, he fired Hevrenan. And he decided also to give him a second chance by calling him back again until we see the trophy in 2012. So that courage, we need it at first. And for you executive who have an opportunity to vote for a first president, come 2024, don't just say because he is giving me something. You are killing football, killing Zambian football. We will not progress.
Let's not go there because we are not discussing about the elections. Let's not go there. Let's end at choosing the coach for now.
All right. We love Zambian football, that's why we have gone there. I think I'll urge the soccer fans also for who have really courage to watch the Zambian Super League. I have heard some team that have joined Ghana by having bad behavior of pitch invasion, making some games to be abandoned. Please, let's respect the rules of football. Football is a beautiful game. If we follow the rules, we're gonna make it better. So let's have limit. Let's not cross the line. If the rule says remain at your stand, remain. Then if the rules are saying write a complaint, if you feel somewhere, somehow was not better, write a complaint. The disciplinary committee will oversee that. That's a way forward. Please, let's avoid violence. Violence will not help us in terms of football. Thank you so much for the viewers who have been watching this program. We value your contribution and your thoughts. Thank you so much, and good night to all of you.
Thanks, Mr. Abia. Lawrence, I want to get your concluding remarks, and also which game are you going to be watching this weekend? Hi, Lawrence, are you there? Okay, it seems Lawrence has got a challenge there. Thank you very much to our lovely viewers for following this program, and also the support that you continue giving us. Lawrence, I've seen your mic is unmuted. You can go ahead.
I'm not sure if you can hear me.
We can hear you, yes.
All right. I'm saying I'll be following the Green Buffaloes game against Simba and hope that they do this country proud and go on to the next round of the Women's Champions League right now happening in Morocco. What it is that we've seen where they are lacking behind and how they considered two silly penalties to make them lose the second game, and honestly we hope that they work on those defensive lapses, because currently the performance of the Green Buffaloes team is actually somehow correlated with the performance of the women's national team, because about 80% or over 80% of the national team actually come from that club, and therefore we see the need for them to perform so well. Remember, the back four is only missing one player who should complete the women's national team's back four, and therefore it was worrisome to see those silly penalties being given away like that, and we hope that we don't see that at the World Cup going forward. Also, it is important to take note of the fact that we have a huge responsibility as a country to support FAS in their endeavors, and hope that this time around, as they do the selection process of the next coach for the Chipolopolo, they do the very best and give us the cream. Though we understand that the budget is very tight for them, and cannot give us probably the very best of the best, but we hope that from what we can manage they give us the best, and as executive in this kind of moments where they have to do the selection and all that, and also on the other side look out for the cost of the whole venue and all that. But all the same, we still demand the best, and we still demand some sort of project that we can see is being worked on. Unlike the current happenings right now, I think from the time this FAS executive came in, we have not seen a tangible project we can also jump on and support and all that. This is where they have lost the funds. It's important for them to outline what they're trying to achieve, come up with realistic objectives bit by bit, building on to the bigger picture of or the bigger objective that should be achieved over a period of time, and that time should actually be specified. Thank you so much, and good night to our viewers.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Thank you very much, Abia, Lameck, and also Joseph that had joined us earlier on this program. This is Ubuntu Sports, where we give you nothing but the best in terms of coverage in Zambian sports. We endeavor every time to bring you live games. As long as we have the rights, we will bring the games live here on Ubuntu channel. Be on the lookout tomorrow. We'll give you the game between Simba and Green Buffaloes women that are playing in the CAF Women's Champions League. This is where we end tonight's show of Ubuntu Sports. Thank you very much. Don't forget that Ubuntu channel always comes live to give to you different content that will keep you informed and entertained. For now, it's good night and God bless you.